Hello, everybody. I was trying to get Lucy to be right in the beginning, but she's there she is. So I wanted to start a new little series because I'm just trying stuff, to see what's helpful for folks. And it's just stuff I'm doing, so it's just kind of a natural leeway. But I bought a bunch of books this weekend. I went to Barnes and Noble for the first time and for a long time. And I just couldn't get myself to buy anything on Amazon at the moment. I will, but only because of the Jeff Bezos thing. But I mean, how are we going to avoid Amazon? I can go to other stores, right? So anyways, I got this book. So Let Your Spirit Guides Speak. And I thought, well, how perfect. And I bought it for me. And then I thought, I started reading it last night. I was like, oh, this might be a really, it's almost like we could do a little book club on this. So, it would be great if you bought the book, for her, obviously, if this was of interest to you. But I will probably facilitate a small series of conversations of what I'm learning in here. Because one of my biggest goals for this channel is to help you access your spirit guides. We all have them. I firmly believe that. We are all born with some guides who are with us from day one and probably prior to that, just helping us with planning and how they can be supportive. And so I don't believe we're ever alone. Like every second, we are not alone. And in fact, I could pull the SGs out and they'd probably confirm that. So the goal of this channel is for you to access that as whatever way it's coming into you and to kind of trust that. And I want to have some of those conversations. So I'm just going to read in this. We're going to just start with an intro. And I am going to just read a little bit and then process. Okay. All right. So this is the introduction. A few months ago, I sat at a bagel shop having lunch with a friend. We talked, as we always do, about the ups and downs of our lives, her challenges as a single mom, what it takes to run a business, how much we love lemon bars. I love lemon bars. One of the things I treasure about our conversations is that underneath them all, there's a spiritual thread, which is what I want to have in this community. Our discussions are not so much about what we've done, but what it all means. Even when we're raving about lemon bars, we're really talking about abundance and joy. During this particular conversation, I mentioned something I find myself talking about more and more these days, my spirit guides. I told her that I'd spent time listening to them that morning, and they'd given me another Abba insight. Aha. I thought it said Abba. Aha insight. My friend looked at me and began to cry. What's wrong? I asked. I forget, she said. I forget that we have guides. I forget that I'm never alone. It was poignant to see this powerhouse of a young woman brought to tears by the reminder of spiritual comfort. Something we all have and constantly forget. That's why I'm writing this book. I've been blessed to be aware of spirit guides or angels, light beings, or entities by other names as a constant and real presence in my life since my youth. But it's only recently that I've been brave enough to talk about them out loud. Now, I haven't had this since my youth, but I've been talking to my SGs through these dowsing rods. About 8 years ago, I was introduced to them and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I just thought I'd give it a try and it worked. So, but it's the first time I'm starting to speak it out loud. So that's kind of resonating with me. Clearly, my guides think it's time is what she wrote in the book because she's writing the book, right? So clearly her guides think it's time. My guides thought it was time when I started this channel 2.5 weeks ago. Your guides think it's time. If you found yourself here and it's resonating with you, if it's not resonating with you, it's, this isn't the right channel or the right path for you right now. And so for you, if it's resonating with you, I think it's your right time. When I wrote, she said, when I wrote the only little prayer you need, which was another book she wrote. Anyways, isn't this the cutest little book ever? And it's small. It's just so cute. I alluded to the idea that we're moving into a new conversation with spirit. We need to go beyond prayer to build a co-creative relationship. I love that. A co-creative relationship. A relationship in which not only do our guides help us fulfill our purpose, but we help extend their love into this world. We work not just for our own good, but for the good of the whole. So I love that if you start to think of your spirit guides as you having a relationship with them, and they get to experience things through you. And that's really my understanding of God anyways, is that we're all an extension of God, and he has divided us, the religious part, I don't know how they talk about that, but, that we are all one, but we are kind of like splintered off for the experience, so God can have the experiences. I don't know. I don't really get that, but that's what I understand people talk about. See, this is why I got to just stick to the spirit guide stuff. But you guys can have a conversation with that in the comments, because there are people who probably totally relate to that. And we don't want to discount those experiences, because everybody's going to have different experiences of where they come from. And really, we're just here to explore more options, explore new ways of looking at things, right? And maybe open up to what we've learned when we were younger, what we've learned in religion, and just see what the other possibilities are, basically. Okay, so I'm going to read this again because I just love that. We need to go beyond prayer to build a co-creative relationship. A relationship in which not only do our guides help us fulfill our purpose, but we help extend their love into the world. Isn't that beautiful? So it's really interesting to me, because especially if you feel lonely or you don't feel like people understand you, I kind of really like the idea that you always have your spirit guides to have a co-relationship with, or to develop a relationship with. And that's kind of what I'm doing here in this series. And maybe that's what we'll call it, relationship with the spirit guides. Maybe that's what we'll call it. I don't do anything on this channel that's pre-planned. I just go, okay, I'm going to have a conversation about this and see where it goes. Okay, so relationship with our spirit guides or something like that. Okay, and judging by the fear-driven conflict we're bombarded with daily, that's going to take some intervention. So having that relationship, right, with our spirit guides, because of what we're bombarded with, and so just, one way to get closer to your spirit guides is to limit the amount of noise that you're getting from the outside world. Most people are working or doing something, or have families, have kids, and that's enough in itself, right? That's enough input that you're getting daily. I don't get that. Like I'm retired, so I'm not working outside of the house. So I don't get that daily input, like just constant from everybody who wants to talk to you and stuff, which I really enjoy. Like it was a great career, but it's really nice to not have that constant input. So I know that everybody's dealing with that. So it's harder to have that relationship with spirit when there's just the practicalities of living life, right? So she says, I'm writing this book because we have a vast resource of spiritual help available to us, and we're not making the best use of it. We feel cut off from it. We're afraid of it. We think we're not worthy, or we snort in a cynical sort of way when someone mentions the possibility that spiritual guidance exists. After all, aside from 84% of the world's population, who would actually believe in a spiritual power besides 84% of the population, the world's population? This is The point is that there are unseen helpers for all of us. I love that, unseen helpers. This book is so comforting to me right now. You'll have to tell me what you think in the comments. Instead of waiting for them to get our attention or prove they exist, We need to throw up the veil between our worlds and say, I want to know you. I want to hear you. I want to work with you. So one thing you could do right now to be, if it's important for you to be active, some people are just learning and taking this in by listening. If it's important for you to be active, you could write in a notebook right now. Dear my spirit guides, or dear spirit guides, I want to know you. I want to hear you. I want to work with you. And we'll actually probably need to break down I want to hear you, Yeah, we'll break it down a little bit in another video. This is a gift that all of us on the planet right now have been given. It's interesting that she says right now, okay? So we're evolving as human beings, and maybe humanity, that wasn't a thing that they needed a long time ago. I don't know. Or maybe I have a feeling like they were really more connected. In fact, we were talking about the Constitution yesterday, my husband and I, because of all the stuff that's going on. And I had heard somebody, I don't know who it was, but I heard somebody who knows the Constitution really well on news, on a channel on YouTube. And they were talking about how very, very, very difficult it is to do certain things in the United States because of the guardrails in the Constitution. And my husband and I were like, how did the founding fathers even know to do that? Like, how were they that smart? And you know what? I don't think they were humanly that smart. I think the Constitution was, this is just my gut saying this, my intuition saying this, that I think the Constitution, the way they developed it to protect against fascism or authoritarianism or whatever, to ensure that a democracy works on this planet, that was God's purpose, to make sure a democracy works on this planet. That was kind of where we're evolving to, that they were receiving downloads as to exactly what to put into that Constitution. Because how on earth, it's not like they had any examples, So we were just like in awe of that yesterday when we were thinking about it. But I really think they were getting downloads. What do you guys think about that? Okay, let's see. I'll try not to make these too long. I probably won't make them longer than 20 minutes each. And maybe I'll do a little once a day or something every other day. Okay, so where were we? This is a gift that we all have on the planet right now that we've been given. We have the opportunity to explore and understand personal spiritual guidance in a way that few people have been able to before. We can take spiritual texts seriously when they talk about angels and guides, and we get to fully embrace this remarkable time when even quantum physics acknowledges other planes of existence. These channels that you find on YouTube this would have been very hard to do, 10 years ago. And so whoever started it was very vulnerable and probably felt like they were taking a lot of risks, and really paved the way for the rest of us to be honest and have conversations about this. Think about it this way. Imagine you're an astronaut and the group in the room at NASA is your team of spirit guides. So you're an astronaut, you're up on the moon, let's just say, and NASA are your spirit guides, that whole control room. They can't control every decision you make, but they are with you constantly, watching everything you do, and they are available every moment you have a question or you need help. Isn't that amazing? I just love that. So we're not alone. I know so many people, I know I said this already, but so many people feel like they're alone, that, they're depressed, anxiety, which may come from that. Some of that might be coming from that. And so of course I had to say, I always have to preface stuff. I'm like, I know some things come because of the chemical, balance in our bodies. When I went through menopause, I got major anxiety that I'd never experienced before. And that was a chemical reaction to that. It wasn't something that was going on in my life, but the stuff that was going on in my life got exacerbated because of the anxiety. But anyways, I always had to preface stuff because I have a very hard time making huge sweeping generalizations about things. Okay. So like the team at NASA, our guides accompany us on our journey. They nudge, advise, protect, and companion us. And if we listen, they help ensure that we complete our earth mission with the greatest success. I mean, how sweet is that? And you know, it's their success too. That's what I love about it. So let's think about this as, you know, it's the relationship that we're developing with our spirit guides. I mean, I just love that so much. Okay, let me see how much further. I think that's actually a good place to stop. There was a quote that I will say this. Okay, so the quote was, "This is a gift that all of us on the planet right now have been given." So that's like an emphasis that she wanted to make, and that was in the reading. So this is a gift that all of us on the planet right now have been given. So we're really tapping into that gift together and exploring our relationship with our spirit guides. So another quote is, I'll see if I can read it while you guys are looking at it. "And if we listen, they help ensure that we complete our earth mission with the greatest success." Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so conversation. It's going to be really hard, the more videos that go up, to respond. And we might start backing off from trying to like hurt everybody, and just know we are looking at it. I'm especially looking at it for content and just, is this resonating with people? Because it'll help me facilitate more conversation. But I'm not ignoring you, but really the comments are for you guys. You guys have conversation to explore this. So I see myself as just the facilitator, bringing up topics, and then the community can explore different ideas about it, just with respect. Obviously, everybody is so respectful here, and with love and compassion, challenge and support. I talked about that in another video. We challenge our ideas with respect, and then we provide support as people work through and get new perspectives, because sometimes the new perspectives are painful, you know? So, so please have that conversation, and we'll see where it goes. And I will see you in part 2 of, I'm calling it developing, relationships with our spirit guides. I'm going to have to think about what I want to call it. But if you do get this book and you want to get it on Amazon, I will have an affiliate link in the description. It's just one way. We get a very small percentage of, but it's a nice way to, if you want to support the channel, if you want to use our affiliate link in the description for it, that'd be awesome. But I highly recommend, I'm not going to go through and read the entire thing, because that would be probably not very nice to Deborah. Actually, it wouldn't be. It's probably not legal either. So I'd encourage you to get the book. If you want to follow along, we can use it as a little study guide. So, all right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.